Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, we welcome you in. The new drug today is a tough weekend for the footballers around here. Can we call them footballers in America or no? Can we call them that? Probably
no,
not. Probably not. That's probably taken.
Yeah, and I just don't like it.
How are you doing over there? You're grumpy today.
I am grumpy.
I mean, I when I walked in, I noticed you were grumpy. You're not grumpy all that often. You're like grumpy.
I am grumpy. Yeah, it was a lousy weekend of football, and it's bothering me.
I can tell. JJ, you grumpy? He's grumpy in there. You're not grumpy, are you?
Absolutely not.
No, JJ's not grumpy.
Yeah.
All Miami does is win and have off weeks. I mean,
we have a bye every other week.
They have a week. They have a bye and they win. That's all they do. So
I think they've got a tough game coming Friday night.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I think this is the best coach we'll be facing this season by far, and Jeff Brom.
Yeah, so and that'll be a fun one to watch. So hey, all kind of things to get to. The Jags lose. They get out physicaled, obviously, by Seattle. They get dropped to 4-2 in a weird kind of game, and we'll certainly talk about that. I mean, I tell you what, it's a weird football season. I'm going to get to all the Jaguar stuff, the Gator stuff, the Knowles, tough loss for the Knowles, tough spot for the Knowles and the Gators all to be in. There is breaking news. I just heard this today. The Disney company owns all the networks that do all the football. So I've heard now they're putting Florida State on the Disney Channel.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you'd heard that. They're actually and the guy calling the game. What was the guy's name?
Donald Duck.
Zach. Who's Zach? Am I saying
Morris?
No. Who's the guy? I'm drawing a complete blank. Why am I drawing a blank on the guy? What's hang on? I'm gonna find this. This would have been way funny.
Billy Crystal.
Never mind. I'm going to get to it later. I'm visioning the guy. He's the guy in
what show?
Vanessa. What's her name? And this guy. They were all in
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron's calling the game.
Okay.
And Vanessa. Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens are calling. That would have been so much funnier if I'd have had it.
I would love if she was at the game.
I just couldn't get it out. You knew what I wanted.
Yes.
Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens are calling the game. Is it funnier now? Or it
is funny.
Kind of lost the moment though, didn't I?
Well, I mean, anything with the Gators is funny right now. So
the Knowles.
Yeah, and the Knowles too.
And the Knowles. So
it's a sad state of affairs.
A lot of things to do today on the program. Glad you're with us on a Monday. Our Mondays are always brought to you by our friends at The Best Bet. Nobody does it better than The Best Bet. It's the best place to hang out with 3 great locations on the First Coast. That St. Augustine location is right off 95. The Orange Park location is on US 17. And, of course, Monument Road is that big Jacksonville location. They do a wonderful job, so we certainly appreciate our friends very much from The Best Bet. A lot to talk about today on the program. Obviously, the Jags lose, the Gators lose, the Knowles lose. James Franklin, who won 34 games in the last 3 years, fired. That one's bizarre. I mean, he probably needed to be fired because it's probably not going anywhere. And I think at this point they probably feel like it's not going anywhere, so I get it. But I thought about this. His win totals in the last 3 years are 13, 11, and 10. That's 34 wins in the last 3 years. 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, whatever it was, they were ranked 3rd and playing in an overtime game against Oregon, with the winner possibly going to number 1 in the nation. 3 weeks later, he's fired. Isn't that? I mean, and I'm not even saying they got it wrong. It might have been time.
Doesn't it make it seem like there had to be something that happened behind the scenes? Whether he got into a shouting match with the wrong person, whether that was the AD, the president, a booster, or whether there was something involving like a player, maybe it's something that got heated. But
you got to wonder,
seems
right?
Peculiar for just solely, and I get it. He's been awful against ranked teams, but that seemed quick.
For them to lose to those 2 schools, the team obviously quit too.
Yeah,
it had to have been. He lost the entire locker room. To lose to UCLA and who was a Northwestern back to back.
Of course, UCLA just put 38-13 on Michigan State.
True.
But you're right.
But you normally allow a coach that's had that kind of success, that's got 34 wins over 3. You normally will allow them a chance to try to dig their way out of it. And they just quickly were like, and it makes you wonder, or the other, maybe nothing happened, but maybe they're in love with Matt Rule, who obviously is a Penn State alum, and I think he's from State College,
right?
He's like Mr. Penn State, or maybe it's Kirk Cignetti that they're watching this guy at Indiana do unbelievable things, and they're like, boy, imagine what he would do, here in Happy Valley. So it does seem peculiar, and having to pay James Franklin $49 million to go away.
Thing. Yeah, and look, I get the sense. JJ, I think you hit it. If all of a sudden they're on top of the world in overtime against Oregon in a gigantic game, and 3 weeks later they've lost 3 in a row, including UCLA and Northwestern, there's probably a belief he's lost his team. And you might look up and they wind up 3-8 and 9 or whatever it is. So I think that's or whatever the record is now. So I think that's part of it. But it's just bizarre. I mean, Brian Callahan just got fired, by the way, the Titans coach. He didn't look like he did a very good job at all. He was way overmatched.
I mean, he didn't have a good hand to play, but he played it poorly.
But I mean, we're just in an odd spot in college football and pro football. So we're going to talk a lot about it today. Got a lot of things to get to today on the program. I am going to get to the Florida situation, the Billy Napier situation, and really the Florida State Mike Norvell situation. They're different. By now the Norvell buyout is $58 million, so he's probably not getting fired, no matter how much FSU fans want him to get fired. At $58 million, I don't think they are. Billy Napier's is $22 million, and then it goes down if they fire him after the season. I think it goes down, Hayes, something like that.
I think they're looking at like $20 million. To get out from under.
Yeah, so
that'll be the easiest money they ever spend.
Yeah, the most important. But we'll talk all about that. But we'll start with the Jaguars. A lot of you and I did Duval Rundown today, so that's available. And I'm going to get into the details of the Jaguars' loss in a little bit. But I will say this. My big take on the game, on the Jaguars losing, is this. Of all the things that happen in football, of all the things that happen with passing games and running games and penalties and this and that and the other, the most physical team usually wins a football game. I don't care if it's college, pro, Pop Warner, high school, middle school, the most physical team usually wins a football game. And I said before the game and thought before the game, this is a Jaguars team that, in my opinion, had been the more physical team in all 5 of their games, including the Chiefs and including the one they lost to the Bengals. But I was fearful they wouldn't be the more physical team here. I was surprised they were not the more physical team by such a wide margin. Does that make sense? I was surprised. They don't get pushed around very often, but they got beat in both trenches. I say that. The defense played pretty well, actually. But the offensive line really was helpless against a very good defensive front for Seattle. And that was the story of the game. We're going to get into all the other specifics, the penalties, which I think is the biggest concern. The physicality is not the biggest concern to me. It's the biggest reason they lost the game. But I think sometimes sometimes the other guy's more physical.
And Seattle's good.
And Seattle's going
to give a lot of teams physical problems.
So sometimes you get in the ring and the other guy throws more punches than you do, and that's just the way the world is. I don't all of a sudden think the Jags are not a physical team. We have this recency bias and we react to what we've seen. And in my mind, as long as it's not a trend, I don't panic about what I've seen. I don't think that's a hallmark of who they are. I do worry about the penalties. That has become a trend. They had 10 accepted penalties against them. They had a few declined penalties. If you look at the stuff they did, Anton Harrison's got to line up on the line of scrimmage. That's an unforced error. You've got to line. I don't care if you're a rookie or not. You got to line up on the line of scrimmage when you're a wide receiver. Travis Hunter's got to line up on the line of scrimmage. Those were really bothersome to me, because I know how much they practice it, and that's a focus thing and it's a concentration thing, and both are wonderful players, wonderful first-round draft picks, but you can't make those mistakes. So for me, Hayes, they got out physical, and I don't think that's going to happen on a regular basis. I think they're a physical football team. I think they've proven that. I do worry about the self-inflicted errors, the penalties that are unforced, because that's been a pattern, and I think that had a lot to do with the game as well.
Yeah, without a doubt, the Jaguars have 52 penalties for 409 yards so far this year. It's just completely unacceptable. And to Liam Cohen's point, it's a very undisciplined operation right now, and it starts with him. And it's not just the penalties; it's what the penalties are taking away. And you hinted at it. Travis Hunter doesn't line up right. No one's fault but his own, and because of that, a 54-yard touchdown gets negated.
And that was a gigantic play.
Absolutely. So it's, it is, and the Anton Harrison thing was, I think, again, they kind of realized early on, we're in trouble trying to block the Seahawks. And so obviously you start looking for any millimeter you can get if you're an offensive tackle that is struggling to hold up. And, they caught Anton Harrison twice. That's going to be a point of emphasis. It hasn't now been for a couple of years. So yeah, it's a lot of things that it was a disappointing outing, but you're going to have disappointing outings in a 17-game season. They're still 4-2. A lot of this will be how they respond to the loss, but the offensive line got ragdolled across the board. I thought, the tackles were the biggest culprit, but I don't think the interior guys played overly well either. And, to have a game in which you allow 7 sacks and 24 hits on your quarterback, and then you run it at a 3.1 yard clip, 19 carries for 59 yards. That's good. That makes it awfully tough on your defense. There were some good things defensively. They, on third down, had been a problem. They were 30th in the league entering week 6, held the Seahawks to 1 of 12 on third down,
which is a winning number.
Yeah, and Seattle really didn't run the ball all that well. They had 60 yards rushing. Okay, well, you can certainly live with that. The only problem defensively is they just couldn't get Darnold uncomfortable. They sacked him one time, but just very inconsistent to non-existent pressure. And I thought he played great. When there was a play to be made, Darnold threw passes that even in tight coverage would have been, still probably completed. The bomb to JSN was incredible. The touchdown to Cooper Kupp was in a place that only Cooper Kupp had a chance at it. And the 61-yarder to Barner at the end was a good throw. So, sometimes you have to tip your cap to the other guy. And I thought Sam Darnold, and again, Liam Cohen kind of hinted at this as well in saying defensively overall we played pretty well, but when they got us big time. And that was the problem. It was 3 plays that, the Jaguars were great on 90% of the game, but the 10% that they weren't great were catastrophic errors.
We'll talk all about the Jags, the Gators, the Knowles, and a whole lot more. It is a Best Bet Monday. I do want to remind you that the World Poker Tour, the $580 no-limit hold'em mega satellite with a 5-seat guarantee, happens this Saturday at Best Bet Jacksonville at 3 o'clock. So get in there if you love playing, because it's a great opportunity for you. A Best Bet Monday continues. We'll talk Jags and a whole lot more on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. I've been battling to get my lawn lush green all year. Well, I finally made the decision to get it top dressed, and it's already starting to look like a golf course fairway. Topdressing.com has a proprietary truck and equipment. They aerated my lawn like the golf course pros do. I'm talking white glove service. They cleaned it up like they were never there. If you want a smooth, lush, dark green lawn, do what I did. Call 888-850-1850 and top dress your lawn like a pro's with topdressing.com.
When the game leaves you wanting more, we give you a little extra. Hacker Leon and Coach Gerald Ingram bring you the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter, nailed down by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
This is your escape. This is your next adventure. This is Mazda, and this is Mazda at the Avenues. Lauren Brooks here. Right now, purchase any new Mazda model, and Mazda at the Avenues will match your down payment or your payments for 1 full year. Plus, every new Mazda comes with 3 years, 36,000 miles of maintenance at no additional charge to you. This is luxury, and this is the start of something new. This is Mazda at the Avenues. For complete details, call 904-430-8047.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
He's one of the greatest Gators in school history.
Who are you? Who's he?
Chris Doring brings the heat to the drill with Dan and Jeff. Tuesday mornings at 7:20 on 1010XL. Protected by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jacks, so we gotta play like the experts we are. Now, who are we?
Roland Reach Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like.
Customers always win with Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjacks.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is a diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds, because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, there's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer can't detect all those cutting imperfections. They need expert help about a diamond's cut grade. You see, for any round diamond of a particular color, clarity, and carat weight, there are as many as 10 different prices that can vary by as much as 50%. At Underwoods, we look specifically at how a diamond's cut before we look at anything else, because it's the most important factor when it comes to a diamond's beauty, and to us, whether it should carry the Underwood name or not.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at jacksnapaautocare.com.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Fall is here. The air is crisp, football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Hump Day High Hands are this Wednesday at Best Bet Jacksonville. That's right on Monument Road. Head over there. And again, there's 3 great locations. St. Augustine is off 95, US 17 in Orange Park, where that Orange Park location is. And, of course, that Monument Road location. Again, Hump Day High Hands this Wednesday at Best Bet Jacksonville. Frangie, Carline, La Selva with you on this Monday edition brought to you by the Best Bet. All right, some things about the Jaguars loss. First of all, they got out physical. I don't think that's who they are. I think they're a physical football team. I think they're a tough physical football team, and I don't worry that's going to continue. I do worry that they keep having these so many self-inflicted, unforced errors. Travis Hunter, you know, there's a side of me when it happened because I'm a whiner and I'm calling the game and watching it. I didn't say this on the air, but I'm thinking to myself, guys, these officials call everything. And my first thought was mad at the official for calling it because his cleat was a quarter of an inch. But then I thought, that is the rule. It's not the official's fault that he called the rule. You know, I almost equated it to the shot clock running down or the play clock running down, the play clock. And, you know, usually they give them an extra half second or whatever.
Or just warn them.
Or right. Yeah, exactly.
Say you're offside.
Yeah, so, and Travis said afterwards he thought the official said he was good. He said maybe that's not what he said, and I got it wrong. But that one bugged me. That one bugged me because that was nullified a gigantic play, a little bit of a fluky play, but nonetheless a gigantic touchdown. And the Anton Harrison stuff, they've got to stop doing that. Because here's what happens too: if you get a reputation that that's what you do, well, then the official's going to look for it. Juwan Taylor, we all know that he starts early sometimes. So now, which he does, and those are penalties. But now I think the officials look for it because that's the book on him. And so the more you make unforced errors, the more you're going to get called for the unforced errors. So I think that part concerns me the most. But I think they'll figure that out. I thought Trevor Lawrence played pretty well. I thought his numbers were good considering the fact that he had, after 5 games of clean pockets, there were no clean pockets in this game. There was almost always someone falling at his feet, hand in his face, something. And I thought he wound up playing pretty well. I'm not worried about Brian Thomas Jr., but there were 2 plays. The one play where it looked like he shied away a little bit. The ball was high. And the other play where he just a drop on a crosser that was a critical time in the game. So I'm not going to say I'm worried about him because he still had a good game and he still makes a lot of big plays, but he's got to clean that up a little bit. You asked me on Rundown, am I concerned about the kicker? Cam Little has now missed an extra point, first time in his career. He was 40 out of 40 on extra points. He missed one for the first time in his career, and he missed a 53-yarder. And although that's a long field goal, for him it's not long. And he missed it right. Missed one left, missed one right after missing the week before. So here's my answer to that. I'm probably not worried or concerned yet. He's proven he can do it. He didn't all of a sudden become bad. But I'd be lying or disingenuous if I didn't say I'm going to be paying attention. And I think everybody else is too. That's why his job just got harder. I made the golf analogy today on Rundown. If you miss the 3-foot putt, well, then the next 3-foot putt is harder because you're grinding on it and you're thinking about the one you just missed and you're holding the grip a little tighter and your hands are getting a little stiffer. Well, then you miss another one and they keep getting harder. Well, kickers are human. You know, there's no doubt in my mind. Someone told me he was missing a lot right in pregame. Well, then he missed the extra point left. They're human. People overcompensate all the time. I'm not a kicking expert or a psychologist, but it's crazy. And then he missed the next kick right. It's crazy not to wonder if all that's mental right now. So I'm not worried about Cam Little, but I'm going to be paying attention. I'll feel better when he snaps out of it. I think Brian Thomas, that's not the last pass he's ever going to drop, but I also think he's going to make an impact. I think he's a very good player, and he had a very good game overall. I'm not worried about the physicality. That was one game. I'm a little worried about the self-inflicted errors. I'm worried about the false starts and the formations and the delay of game and the clock running down. So those things I'm concerned with. Big picture is this. They're 4-2. Any of us would have taken 4-2 before the season. There's not one person that follows the Jags that if you'd have told me before the season ever started, they're headed to London 4-2, nobody would have not taken that.
And guess what? We'll take 4-2 in the next 6, and we'll take 4-2 in the 6 after that, and we'll take 4-2 in perpetuity.
I said the same thing. I take 4-2 now. I'll take 4-2 the next 6, and I'll take 4-3 after that. I mean, I'll take 3-2 after that. That gets you to 17. That gets you to 11-6, and you win the division. Okay, if it's 4-2, 3-2, you win the division. You're 11-6, and you win I thought the same thing. So I'm okay with where they are. I'm not going to panic over one game. I hope they clean up. They get out physical. That happens. They got pushed around. It happens. Address it. I think they will. Clean up the unforced stuff. That's the biggest take I have. If I have a concern, it's that.
Yeah, I would say. I thought Trevor played well. I agree. A 97.1 passer rating, which isn't incredible, but it's a good day for Trevor Lawrence. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 258 yards passing under constant duress. And the thing that I liked about Trevor yesterday is it never felt late in the game that he was at all shying away or rushing things. It didn't seem like the contact, the hits that he had taken affected his decision-making. And so I certainly commend Trevor Lawrence for his toughness on that. And he made a couple spectacular plays late in that game to try and keep the Jaguars in it. The offensive line, it was just inexcusable how it looked. Now, obviously, they don't have their starting center. Robert Hainsey was out. And I think we saw how valuable Brenton Strange is in terms of the physicality that he brings to the ground game. So, I think, 2 big absences because of injury, and I think it showed up against a very talented Seattle front. The penalties, I think it's just, unfortunately, it seems like that's once you get going with that, it really seems hard to correct it. It does seem like that's the biggest frustration for Liam. And you even saw it. The Jaguar Digital released, his speech to the team after a loss, which you never see happen, and that was his message of, the effort is fantastic, but it's hard enough to win games in this league. We can't just give the opponent freebies like we're doing. And so, yeah, the penalties is a concern. I'm concerned about Brian Thomas Jr.
And that's fair.
I just don't think there's a lot of toughness to his game. And he's starting to me to look like a little bit too much of a one-trick player where he has exceptional deep speed, but are we basically looking at an upgrade over somebody like a Darius Hayward-Bay? I mean, there needs to be more of a toughness to his game and more of a clutch to his game. Again, to me, he is now, we're 6 games into this year. He has shrunk from contact like 3 or 4 times. I mean, you just don't see receivers doing this. I mean, if you're watching the other games around the league, you don't, like Amon-Ra St. Brown had a drop last night on 4th down, but it wasn't because he was afraid to get hit. He just dropped the ball. That's going to happen. But you almost never see receivers that are not attacking the ball in the air. And too often he doesn't do it. You hope that the Cincinnati loss, that he was able to see that, overcome it. But I thought, yesterday, you can't just put one hand up on that ball. I mean, you've got to go attack the football. You are a receiver. They're paying you millions of dollars to catch the football. You've got to do everything in your power to go catch the football. And yes, you may take a hit, but that is the job that you have signed up for. The drop on 3rd and 5 is obviously a killer. But I don't think that was anything more than a guy making an error at a very inopportune time. But he isn't having that strong of a season. So I do think you have to start to wonder, was it a little bit of smoke and mirrors his rookie year, which was a fantastic rookie year. But, as teams have figured him out, is he anything more than a guy that can go deep? And he can do that. He's proven he can do that. And yesterday he would have had a nice 54-yard touchdown off, like you said, an amazing concentration play by Brian Thomas Jr., and it gets negated because of the Travis Hunter penalty. But I am now, for him to be a number 1 receiver, which is what we thought the trajectory was for Brian Thomas Jr. entering this season, and I was right there. I mean, I thought he was going to be fantastic. I've been incredibly disappointed with his play. So I am concerned about BTJ. I hope it gets corrected, but I am concerned. I'm not really concerned about Cam Little. Look, he wasn't going to make every kick as a Jaguar. Eventually, he was going to miss kicks. I mean, these guys don't make everything, but it is important to see how he responds. I would anticipate that he will respond well, and he will make more than what's considered a healthy percentage for a kicker, but he's not going to make them all. So I think you kind of hope that he figures it out. I like where they are. I think Seattle's a tough matchup for them. I don't know that there's going to be a lot of teams left on the schedule that have that kind of prowess up front that the Seahawks have. And so, and again, you hope they have Hainsey Sunday against the Rams, and you hope that you're going to get Brenton Strange back in a month, and hopefully you stay healthy around that. So I think some of it can be chalked up to injuries, but the offensive line, it was very poor performance yesterday against Seattle for sure.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk some Gator football. Boy, the Gators are a mess. That's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Carline here to let you know about my new tailgate obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love the new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers, as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at your grocery store.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through October 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Post-game Monday on 1010XL is served by Dandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now, in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800, or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life, and I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Cool air and clean air. Getting out from under that Florida sun and cooling off inside is where Florida Home AC shines. Think about it. You spend a lot of time indoors, and air quality is crucial to your health and comfort. Pollutants like dust, pollen, germs, and allergens can build up, affecting your well-being. Florida Home is dedicated to enhancing your indoor experience with superior air quality solutions like whole home air purification systems. Find out by logging on to FloridaHomeAC.com or call 877-4300.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Ballou Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Ballou Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. 10-10-10-10.
Take.
The 10-10 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Septic and Air Conditioning, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck, duckduckrooter.com. It's time now for Billy Napier, and I think it's one more loss. I now believe Billy Napier will be fired after the next loss, which will give him 5 losses on the season. That is my belief, and I think it'll happen whenever it happens. Now, it could be this week if they lose at home to Mississippi State. In fact, I'm certain it will be. It could be if they win against Mississippi State, against Georgia. I'm certain it will be. Now, the one caveat could be if they do the crazy and beat Mississippi State and upset Georgia, beat Kentucky and win at Ole Miss, and then lose by a point against Tennessee when they've got some momentum, maybe that changes it a bit. But barring a run on momentum, which I don't think they're going to have, I think Billy Napier will get fired after one more game. Having said all that, and that, by the way, is the 10-10 Take. All right. Having said all that, it's a really odd situation where with the one the Gators are in right now. It's just a very awkward situation. He's dead man walking. He's fired. And Billy Napier deserves to be fired. Here's my take on Billy. I made this analogy today with Dan on All Things Gators. You're a billionaire. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I'll make it to you. You're a billionaire, and you want to start a law firm, okay? And you want it to be big. Man, you want it to be Morgan & Morgan, Fair & Fair, one of the big ones. So you bring in this guy that's this known lawyer to build it. And, man, he hires a bunch of great lawyers and a bunch of great paralegals and a bunch of great investigators and builds this one, has a great marketing plan. And he builds this great, gigantic law firm. And it's really good. And you're really pleased with what it is, okay? And you're pleased. But you decide, as good as he is at building that, he's not a great trial lawyer. So you bring him in and you say, listen, you've done a great job building this, but let's make Joe our number one trial lawyer. And he says, but you hired me to be the lawyer. I said, no, I hired you to build the law firm, and it's a great law firm. But let's let Joe be our trial lawyer. And he pushes back and says, well, no, a lawyer, that's what I do. I mean, all those years in law school and all that work and passing the bar and working as a clerk, I did that.
No one works a jury like me.
I did that because I want to look the judge in the eye. I want to look the opposing counsel in the eye. That's who I am. I'm a lawyer. Well, I know, but I want to move you off that. Yeah, but that's who I am. It changes my identity. I'm serious about this. It changes my identity. Well, that's what we have here. I'm serious about it, Hayes. What I think we really have here is Billy Napier thinks play caller is his identity. That's who I am. I'm a play caller. And so you're the billionaire. You'd be a good billionaire too, by the way. But you're
I'm happy to try.
you're the billionaire. Well, now you got to fire him because if he's not willing to not be the lead counsel, and you said, listen, you've done a great job building my law firm. Just run the law firm. And no, I got to be in the courtroom. Well, you got to fire him because he's hurting your law firm. And that's what this. I think Billy Napier believes he's a play caller. He arrogantly won't back off, just like the lawyer wouldn't. And I think that's why he's going to get fired. There's no doubt in my mind. It's kind of sad. It really is that he's going to throw his career down the drain because he stubbornly refuses to quit calling plays. Now, I know he loves calling plays, and that's what he thinks, and the job's not good. The job isn't pure and wholesome to me anymore. It's not enjoyable to me if I'm not calling plays. You're going to get fired because of it. And everybody has pleaded with him not to do it. They've pleaded with him to bring in somebody. They've cajoled him. They've talked to him. They've offered to help him. And he has stubbornly, arrogantly, narcissistically refused. And for that reason, he's losing his job. And you can point to 7,000 things about this. He's not a good player. He doesn't know. You don't go for it on 4th and 6 when the game's hanging in the balance and it's a defensive game. I don't care what the analytics say. We all know you don't do that. But it started not because the bad head coach went for it on 4th and 6, Hayes, because the bad play caller tried to run it on 3rd and 6 and got nothing. And so you could live with a lot of the stuff. The fact that he is a bad play caller and narcissistically and stubbornly refused to back off that is going to cost him his job. And that is a shame.
All you need to know about Billy Napier unfolded after the first quarter when the ESPN sideline reporter did the interview with Billy Napier. I don't know if you heard.
I saw it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, Florida's having success. They've scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. And Napier brazenly acts like he's Steve Spurrier and is like, well, I don't blame them for not wanting to give us running lanes for Bob, but if they're going to give us this coverage all night, we're going to take full advantage. They scored 3 points the rest of the game.
Right.
Because A&M's coach, Elko, made an adjustment. And Billy Napier, once again, had no counterpunch for it. And you got a single field goal the final 3 quarters of that game.
Right. Well,
and we're 1 of 10 on 3rd down.
Yeah, and by the way, 1 of 11. And by the way, if you'd have brought in Cade Bell to call plays,
yes, probably still have your job.
Then
today.
He would have made the adjustment
right
after Elko made the adjustment. That's how it works, to your point. And because he wouldn't do it, he's stubborn. I've always said I hear he's a nice guy and a wonderful guy and kids love him, and that's great. And I believe it's all true. But I can't ever remember anybody this stubbornly refusing to bend on some. It's not like he was going to get a pay cut if he couldn't call plays.
he stubbornly refused to quit doing it when it couldn't be more obvious he's no good at it. It couldn't be more obvious.
And he might be a wonderful CEO head coach.
That's the point. That's the guy that built the law firm. Right. The guy that built the law firm built this great law firm, but he wouldn't leave the courtroom, and he got fired. And so, and that's the thing, Hayes.
I love my closing arguments.
Yeah, right. And that's the point. And the point of it is, he might have been he might have been Dabo, because he can recruit, he's likable. He did build. Someone said, well, if he's so organized. Well, he is organized. He built a great infrastructure. He oversaw the building of that facility. They recruit good players. They develop the players.
Talent is not an issue in Florida.
Not recruiting them or developing. Yeah. It's just when he gets on the field, it's very clear he's overmatched. And it was. And so many good play callers. Kirby Smart was a great defensive play caller. Ryan Day was a great play caller. So many really good play callers. Once they get the head job, they pass it off. And he was, I'm again. It just nope. I'm not. I'm gonna be. I got to look the judge in the eye. I want to look the opposing counsel in the eye. I got to make the closing argument. I'm not going to quit doing that. Well, then I'm going to fire you, even though you've built this great law firm. I'm going to fire. And that more than anything else, it astounds me. It astounds me, freaking astounds me, that he wouldn't back off that at the risk of losing a $7 million job. How many jobs pay you $7 million a year for a guy from wherever, Georgia, who was a high school quarterback and played at Furman?
And how much will he make in his next job?
Well, it isn't this, okay?
It's definitely not
this. So, I mean, the amount of...
He'll be lucky if he ever makes $1 million coaching football again. And he's not going to make that as a receivers coach.
And he was willing to give that up when, and all Scott Strickland said is just hire a guy. The booster said, just bring in a guy and keep your $7 million job. And he wasn't willing to do it. And now he's going to get fired. I think he gets fired next loss, no matter when it is. Now, again, if they lose.
I think they're losing Saturday. Yeah, so I think it's coming Sunday morning.
There's a bye, right?
Yeah, there's a bye after. And by the way, there's no question they might look, because Mississippi State's pretty good.
It's good.
And they play fast, and they play watching Pitt against FSU, how fast they play. Watching USF the other night, how fast they play. That's the way to go. You couldn't play any slower than Florida plays. And so you're already at a disadvantage. So we'll see what happens. But it astounds me that it was so obvious. It would have been so easy to keep your job. By the way, you didn't even have to go out and get the greatest play caller of all time. You got a lousy play caller now, and he still won 7 games last year. Just get a pretty good play caller. With that talent, just a pretty good one, okay? If you got a great one, that's better. But just get a reasonable play caller, because you have a talented football team, but he's so overmatched. And so he's getting fired. I think he gets fired. If he loses, I think he's fired Sunday. You agree or disagree?
Oh, without a doubt. And he may be fired, like, if they lose to Mississippi State.
Maybe Saturday night.
It might be 9:30 Saturday night where the press release goes up.
I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Play-by-play sports just sounds better on radio. For high school, college, and pro sports play-by-play, turn on 1010XL.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family-owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're going to see a big difference.
Enjoy the scenic views at Twin Peaks while you sip on half-price wine by the glass, select craft beers, and Jaeger Bomb specials. Into the Night with Rick Ballou is live 6 to 8 this Wednesday at none other than Twin Peaks, Atlantic, and Kernan.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
It's the fall savings event going on now at Renewal by Anderson. Upgrading your home has never been easier. Get 20% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires October 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family's secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do, stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Boye Aluakan was outstanding in the Sunshine State. The Jacksonville linebacker tallied 9 tackles against Seattle, with 6 being solo. And he'd also have a quarterback hit, as well as a pass defended. The captain was the absolute truth, and he's your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit MorganConleyRoofing.org.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at JimersonFirm.com.
Since 1901, generations of skilled union workers have built the backbone of our community. Hospitals, schools, the buildings where you work. Every year, a new apprentice class of Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians is stepping up, trained, driven, and ready to do great things. They're not just building our city, they're building their future. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to become a member or contractor today.
Get ready, poker players. The World Poker Tour is coming back to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 30th through November 18th. It's your chance to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 different poker tournaments to play, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guarantee. Satellites and mega satellites are going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. For the full WPT schedule and more information, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
We certainly appreciate our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. They will take great care of you. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars losing to the Seahawks 20-12. What was your primary concern coming out of the game?
The only pattern I saw that bothers me are all the penalties, all the unforced errors. They got beat physically. That's why they lost the game. But there's not a pattern of that. A hallmark of this team has been physicality for 5 straight games. I think they'll continue to be a physical team. That was a one-game thing for me. The consistent penalties, the procedure penalties, the formation penalties, that is a pattern. And that concerns me because it's been a pattern, Hayes. So more than anything else, that's what I think they've got. They've got a good team. You don't go 4-2 in the NFL if you don't have a good team. They have a good team. But that's the one they got to clean up.
Liam Cohen met with reporters earlier today and says linebacker Devin Lloyd had calf tightness, was cleared to return, but was held out for precautionary reasons. So that's an injury that we will have to monitor this week.
Yeah, and if I'm them, and I don't know, you got an off week coming up. Cavs can stick around a while. I don't know that I'd push this if I was them. I might be tempted to put. I don't even know if I'd put him on the plane. I might be. And again, I'm no doctor. I mean, who knows? You don't know how serious it is, but it would run through my mind. Don't put him on the plane. Stays here, has an off week in 3 weeks, gets treatment. So, and I have no idea how bad the injury is. So I act like I know. I don't want to. All I know is what Liam said today publicly. But yeah, I would. That hurt. He's a really good player and he's having an MVP year, a defensive MVP year. So hopefully he gets healthy soon.
Absolutely. Let's get to the Jaguars' opponent Sunday. Rams phenom receiver Puka Nacua injured his ankle and is uncertain to play Sunday versus the Jags in London. Nacua has 54 catches for 616 yards and 2 touchdowns this season.
That's a gigantic loss if they don't have him. That would have been the Seahawks yesterday not having Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's such a good player. Not having Puka Nacua would be a gigantic loss for the Rams in this game or any other game.
Let's get it to around the AFC South. The Titans have fired head coach Brian Callahan after a 4-19 start to his tenure. Tennessee is 1-5 and hosts New England and former coach Mike Vrabel on Sunday.
Yeah, what an awful firing of Mike Vrabel. I think he's a really good football coach. And Brian Callahan, you see a guy fired after 23 games. But he was overmatched. You could tell from the get-go, hearing the press conferences, seeing how the team responded, it was never going to work under him. He won 4 games, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and the Jaguars still have both their games against the Titans, so you'd like to think that that should be 2 wins now with an interim just sort of steering the ship to the finale. The Indianapolis Colts have placed quarterback Anthony Richardson on IR with an orbital bone fracture sustained in pregame. One of the weirdest stories you'll ever see. One of those flex bands.
Resistance bands.
Yeah, hit him in the eye and did some, unfortunately, so obviously some fairly significant damage.
Yeah, you hate that for AR, regardless of who you root for, who you don't root for. He's a nice kid, and he can't quit getting injured. And, yeah, one of the resistance bands hit him in the eye. He wasn't going to be a starter there. I think other people don't agree. I think they found something with Daniel Jones. I think.
Sure. They're 5-1.
Yeah, I think he fits them. And he's a young guy, and he's a first-round pick. So I don't think AR was ever going to play for the Colts. But I hope he gets his eye okay and gets a chance to play for somebody else because that's a bad injury.
What would be interesting is if something happened to Daniel Jones in the next week or two, and then you don't have your first or second guy.
Right.
And now if you're in Indianapolis, you are really scrambling to find an option, but should be fine if Daniel Jones can stay healthy. They've got a big game Sunday. They're going to the Chargers, so that Colts schedule finally starting to heat up a little bit. Let's get it to around the NFL. 49ers star middle linebacker Fred Warner suffered a gruesome ankle injury in yesterday's loss to the Buccaneers. One of the best defensive players in the league. The San Francisco 49ers are cursed.
Yeah, they really
injuries.
are. It's that year for them. He's the best middle linebacker in the league. And I agree with what you just said. I think he's one of the best defensive players in the league. I think he's one of the best 5'6" defensive players in the league because he can do so much. That's a terrible injury.
Now, when they give you the warning on TV, like, hey, you might not want to watch this, do you guys watch it?
I don't watch it.
I never do.
I don't watch it.
Yes.
I don't watch it.
I'm not that guy.
I don't need to see it. I'm just like you. I don't need to see it.
Yeah. Week 6 concludes tonight with a doubleheader. Buffalo travels to Atlanta at 7, while Chicago is at Washington at 8.
I can't imagine. I was telling Steve Griffin this earlier. I can't imagine why the NFL doesn't do this on a regular basis.
It seems like they kind of are this year.
Well,
a lot of doubleheaders.
But I would do it every week.
It sort of snuck up on me.
Did you realize?
We have one again next Monday.
There's 15 teams in the NFL that are not in the Eastern time zone, which means I don't like the 7:15, 8:15, which we have tonight. I'd rather 7:15 and a 9:15. And you have 15 teams. Almost half your league is not in the Eastern time zone. And any of those could start a 9:15 game because it's 8:15 Central and all the way back. So I can't imagine why the league doesn't just, by next year, saying we're going to have 2 games every Monday night. Who in the world wouldn't benefit from that? Advertisers benefit, fans benefit, teams get more nationally televised games. You lose one game on a Sunday, who cares? I can't imagine why the league wouldn't do that every single week.
Let's get to college football. We already talked about the Gators losing to Texas A&M. We have not gotten to FSU. Loses at home to Pitt 34-31. The Noles defense allowed 479 yards to an offense led by a true freshman. Florida State now 0-3 in ACC play. That is good for 16th place out of 17 teams.
You sure about that?
I double-checked.
I figured
Actually,
you did.
triple-checked. I forgot they had 17
Yeah,
teams.
yeah, I
forgot they had the odd number.
I will tell you this.
So I kept looking at it like, how can this be right?
17.
They have 17
Yeah,
teams.
I'm gonna get to this, and I'm gonna start the next segment talking about this before we have Bucky at 5:15. But I'll tell you quickly now, it shows you the dangers of portal life. You've seen the advantages 2 or 3 years ago of portal life at FSU. These are the dangers of portal life. I'm going to expound on that after 5 o'clock, but it shows you the dangers of portal life. I'll tell you that.
Let's get quickly to Major League Baseball. Seattle won Game 1 of the ALCS at Toronto last night. Game 2 today at 5. The NLCS starts tonight as the Dodgers travel to Milwaukee at 8.
I'm a little different than JJ is on this. I want the Dodgers in it because I want because I know they're players. You know what I mean, JJ?
Yeah.
I just know they're players, and I don't care who wins. I just want to. I'll be more interested in watching. But I think we might be headed to Milwaukee, Toronto, or Milwaukee, Seattle, which would be small market heaven, wouldn't it?
And Seattle and Milwaukee are some of the only two teams have never won a World Series.
Correct.
Seattle's never even been to a World Series. Right. And after you go 15 innings the other night, I was just like, there's no way they're going to win, Game 1. Of course they did.
And they did.
Of course. Which, by the way, I miss those long games. With the runner on second base, we don't get them anymore.
See, let me tell you right. I do too. And you and I are both all messed up because you shouldn't love a 4-hour game. But I'm like you. I do
more than that.
I miss them too. Yeah. I miss them too. I'm the same way.
It was very old school.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
We'll get you out on our musical note of the day. Happy birthday wishes to Paul Simon, who turns 84 today. Wow. Simon is a 2-time inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for his work in Simon & Garfunkel, as well as a solo career. He has won 16 Grammys. This is Me and Julio, Down by the Schoolyard.
Oh, you picked a great song too, didn't you? What a great feel-good song that is. Love it. I really do love it. Paul Simon, with the possible exception of Bob Dylan and the combination of Lennon and McCartney, might be the greatest songwriter ever.
Yeah.
If you take Dylan off the ballot, and if you take McCartney and Lennon together off the ballot, he may be the greatest songwriter ever.
Hard to argue.
We'll take a break. Hour 2's next. Stay with us.
On the ground every time my name gets mentioned. The papa said, oh, if I get that boy, I'm going to stick him in the house of detention.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Playmakers make special plays.
That right there, that's special.
Special plays make the special teams player of the game.
Winning football players who can step up in a clutch moment.
After the game, pump up the Superior Plumbing Special Teams player of the game on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. They're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations and full air conditioning service, they do it all. And with Duck Duck, it's done right. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. If the Jags trust Duck Duck Rooter, so can you.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
It's hard to tame a hurricane.
Let's not get hysterical here, okay? Calm down.
Find out what you need to know about the Canes on the Performance Painting Hurricane Report.
Your source for weekly Canes news and nuggets
on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
Start your week off with today's restaurant of the day, Flame Broiler. Try their new chicken avocado salad bowl at $10.99. Fuel your day with Flame Broiler's protein-packed bowls served at 5 locations, including the newest at 103rd Street.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, 1010XL fans, it's game time, but don't get sidelined from the fun. The JTA Game Day Express is the smartest way to get to the bank on time. It's all sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 convenient pickup locations across the River City, but remember, Game Day Express is cashless. All passes must be purchased through the MyJTA mobile app. Get your $10 pass today. For all of your game day needs, go to myjtafla.com.
No more climbing ladders or tree shopping or untangling lights. Nope, Kuhn Flowers will take care of all of it for you this fall when you schedule their holiday home decorating team. This is Frank Frangie with 1010XL, and now's a good time to call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out, Garage Door 911, GarageDoor911.com.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by JEA. 2025-26 NBA regular season is right around the corner as the Orlando Magic will be taking on the Miami Heat in Orlando at the Kia Center next Wednesday night for a 7 o'clock tip. The undefeated Florida Panthers are back on the ice tonight as they take on the Philadelphia Flyers in the city of brotherly love at 7 o'clock. It's 83 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Head to that Orange Park location on 17 Monday. There's daily promotions and tournaments all the time at Best Bet Orange Park. Here's the deal. You can see every promotion, every tournament, every detail at bestbetjacks.com. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. We sure appreciate our friends, Jamie Stelton and all my buddies at the Best Bet do a wonderful job. They truly do. It's a lot of fun. If you love having fun, man, go to one of those clean, perfect locations. You'll be glad you did. Florida State loses to Pitt, a home game. Pitt's decent. Pitt blew out Boston College. Cade Bell calls the plays. He's Kerwin Bell's kid. He's a wonderful young play caller. He will get another big play calling job and then a head job. That'd be my guess. I think he's tracking.
Just 32 years old.
Yeah, he's really young, but he calls plays the way Kerwin calls plays.
He was a smart player too. I remember covering a couple of Cade's games when he was quarterback.
Very smart player
at Fleming, and he was impressive. I want to say it was Fleming. I'm pretty sure 99.9% sure it was.
And I saw him play at JU.
Oh, okay. But yeah, he was a real cerebral. You could tell watching him, and it's translated. He had FSU running in circles.
So Florida State loses the game. Here's my take on it. And they don't know what to do. You hear Rick Ballou, who knows FSU so well, talking about you got to fire him, but it is $58 million, so there's probably not going to do that. And they've gone all in. You pointed out many times the wonderful Ross Dellinger story. I think it was Ross Dellinger that talked about how all in they were on this season. But here's the good and the bad of the portal. The good is you might go get a lot of really good players. Mike Norvell's obviously good at going and finding players. We've had this conversation. Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman. And
when no one else was playing the game.
Yeah, well, that's right, with Verse. Well, good point. He was ahead of its time a little.
Yeah, to his credit.
Yeah, but he was very good at going and finding really good players. And it looked like he had done that again this year after the Alabama game. I said it on the air. But here's the danger of the portal. They're all all-star teams. They don't know each other. They just got there. Well, when things start going bad, teams that have a bond, teams that have fought together for 2 and 3 and 4 years and hung out together and gone to each other's families and had Thanksgiving with each other, and that matters. And so when things go bad, you handle that adversity together because you're a family, you're a brotherhood. That sounds like coaching football cliche, but it's not. It's real. Football's hard, man. And when you've gone through a lot of hard stuff together and you fought together and clawed together, you bond together when things get tough. Well, these kids don't even know each other. And I'm not knocking just FSU, but when your team is built almost I've watched it with Colorado. Colorado has an all-portal team. And, yeah, they were good when Travis Hunter and Shedeur were, but they haven't been good at any other time because they don't know each other and they don't bond. And what I sense from having at FSU, they're trying. Castellanos is an okay quarterback, not a great quarterback. Obviously he's limited. He's limited as a passer. But when things go bad, there's nobody to – no, it's not like I'm in there, but it's my take from afar is, hey, there's nobody in there to say, listen, we're in this together. We fought for 3 years together. We've had mat drills together. We fought together. We helped each other with our family problems together. Well, they don't know each other. They just got there. And I don't sense there's much of a bond. I think Norvell's trying. I do think both Gus Malzahn and Tony White are good coaches. I don't think he got bad coaches. I don't believe that. But I don't know how you pull yourself out of this. They'll beat Stanford because Stanford's really bad.
I don't know.
They
should beat Stanford.
They're like a 17-point favorite.
It is 10:30.
That's what I'm intrigued to see. They're playing it basically midnight.
But apparently Stanford's like really.
They are really.
Like like historically bad. But anyway, my point is whether they do or not,
they should beat Stanford.
It would be a shame if they.
The travel plus the kickoff time does give you some pause.
But bottom line is, win or lose that game, they end the season at Clemson, at NC State, at Florida, and if it's all gone bad by now, and you're trying to find how do you fight this adversity thing, and all of a sudden you have hard. I don't see how they rebound it. Now, listen. By the way, $58 million is a lot of money. It's probably time for FSU to bring in the next guy. It really is. I said it about Florida a minute ago. I don't feel quite as passionate about FSU because I understand the buyout's big. And he really is only a couple years removed from a really good season.
Which Napier has never given Florida.
Correct. So, but they're in a tough way too. The fans have given up. You can sense it. You can feel it. And again, there's no way to circle the wagons because the players don't know where the wagons are.
Right.
They just got there. And I think
this quarterback last year didn't circle the wagons. He quit the team.
That's correct. And so you don't have – I mean, the Florida player – Florida's not very good because the coach isn't very good. But the players like each other. They've been around Lagway a long time. I think with Florida State, you've seen the advantages of really good portal work. And now you're seeing the downside of relying on the portal.
I think you're absolutely right. And again, this is where the college game is going to start to mirror the NFL game. And I think an element to this is we talk about it a lot. You know, guys that are free agents, there is the rare occasion of an exceptional player is a free agent. But for the most part, they don't hit the market because you're going to retain that talent. And so the portal is going to get weaker as time goes on, particularly with this revenue sharing. Teams have $20.5 million to spend. Well, you're going to start in-house. That money you're going to – let's say you're allocating $13 million to your football program. That money is going to start with retaining your stars. And so the portal is going to continue to get weaker. Mike Norvell shows no ability to recruit at an elite level at all. I mean, he's worse than Dan Mullen as a recruiter. And that's what's really killing them is they just don't have any home – they have some, but they have very little homegrown talent. And you can't just, it's like the NFL model. You've got to draft well. You can't just solely rely on free agency, or you will be lost in the wilderness. We saw it for a decade with the Jaguars, bad drafts, throwing a ton of money in free agency. And what would it lead to? More top 5 picks. And it's going to become the same thing in college football. So I would agree Florida State needs to take the buyout or make up an allegation and try and fire him for cause or whatever. But they've got to get rid of Mike Norvell because the high school recruiting is so subpar. And I don't think he's going to fix it. I think he's had 6 years to learn how to recruit at this level and obviously is incapable of doing it. So they've got to go get somebody that they've kind of got to go get the opposite of what Florida needs. Florida needs an X's and O's guy. Florida, I think, has the talent, and I think now with how players are, again, paying players, retaining players, high school players are going to be more gravitating towards deals financially than relationships with coaches. But Florida State needs the opposite. They do need somebody that can convince these kids to sign with Florida State. And you hope the money's there. That's beyond the head coach's control. But for Florida State's sake, they need somebody that can recruit. And then you hope that you can supplement your weaknesses through the portal, not build the entire operation or 90% of the operation around the portal, because the portal is just going to continue to get weaker, in my opinion, as the years go on, because these colleges that have star players are going to do what NFL teams do. They're going to sign those players to extensions.
That's exactly right. We'll take a break. More college coming up at the bottom of the hour, and we have the rewind. But we come back, Bucky Brooks will join me talking Jaguars football. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
2 Super Bowls, 1 Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
I think we got a big one here.
Eric Armstead brings his big resume to Helmets and Heels for big-time football talk. Fridays at 3. Kept healthy by orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Big number 1 Duval Ford is trusted by Duval families, Duval businesses, and law enforcement across Florida. We're Jacksonville's largest Ford dealer by new Ford sales with the biggest service facility to keep everything in your driveway and in your fleet on the road. Shop Big number 1 Duval Ford on Cassett Avenue for our low prices and nationally recognized service-first experience. Big number 1 Duval Ford, proudly serving North Florida since 1916.
I'm Renee Harrell. At Harrell & Harrell, we understand when you've been in an accident, there's a lot to handle. You've lost pay, and now the medical bills are piling up. When there isn't much insurance, some attorneys will pay your bills, take their fee, leaving you with even less than them. Not at Harrell & Harrell. We'll work hard to reduce your medical bills, and we promise our fee will never be more than you take home. Call us today, 904-251-1111. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Get the best soccer talk on the First Coast on the Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Bailey discuss the beautiful game Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
October means Brakes for Breast at Expert Automotive, who's teamed up with TechNet so you can get or give $40 and help us put the brakes on breast cancer. The entire month of October, schedule a brake job at Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff, and Expert will match TechNet's $40 give or get, giving $80 back to you or Brakes for Breast to put the brakes on breast cancer. Book online at expertautojacks.com. Visit us at St. John's Bluff or call 374-3373. Help Expert Automotive put the brakes on breast cancer.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dan Hicken with a game changer. I've tested the field, and Checkmate Coatings is my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coatings. Better play, better results.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all: garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Sewer backups stink, literally. Tree roots, old pipes, or major clogs can be the cause. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline inspects and clears sewer lines fast. If your sewer's backed up, make the Superior choice and learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
Don't ghost your carpet this fall. Hicken here. Right now, you can get your entire home zero-resified from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a free haul for Halloween. Get it? There's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home. It's in your air ducts. This month, take 50% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards and forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now, in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800, or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life, and I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
Get paid to lose weight in a paid obesity research study with Encore Research. If you're 18 or older with a BMI at 27 or more, you may qualify. No insurance required, no cost to you. Enroll at EncoreDocs.com or call 904-732-6669.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Carissa McCullough in Yulee at 904-261-2223.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
All right, Bucky Brooks joins us in just a moment. He's getting to where he's got a little better cell service, so we'll say hello to Bucky and talk Jaguar football coming up in a bit. The Jags, by the way, leave tonight. They fly tonight. They are going to fly to London. They're staying at the Grove, which is a wonderful area out there. I've stayed there many times with them. And then they will practice throughout the week out there, and they'll be ready to play. Liam wanted to get them there early, get them all adjusted, and they'll be out there. I'm leaving Thursday, by the way. No, usually I fly out there with the team.
You made the right call.
It would have been a long week. It would have been a long week out there. So I wanted to kind of hang out a little bit here, but I'll leave on Thursday. So you'll have it. And by the way, you'll have it Thursday and Friday with Hacker.
Yeah.
Who does a fantastic job. And then next week, Hacker's not available because he's got a little vacay coming up. So you'll be on the air with the Rhino Halloran.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
That will be a lot of fun.
Vacation next week.
Buckle up.
In London this week. All right, let's say hello to Bucky Brooks.
The buck stops here. Time now for Bucky Brooks. Brought to you by Coyle & Sons, Jacksonville's commercial fence specialist. On The Frangie Show.
You can call my friends at Coyle & Sons at 904-356-4821 or go to Coyle, that's COILE-Jacks.com if you need personal or residential fencing, commercial fencing. They do it all. They're the best in the business. My friends from Coyle & Sons. Bucky Brooks joins. Buck, that was a tough one yesterday. It's the first time all year I thought the Jags were not the more physical team. Could you kind of feel that down there on the sideline?
Yeah, absolutely. It felt like that, Frank.
from beginning to end, man, the Jaguars just were out physical at the point of attack by a dominant Seattle front line. We had talked about it being one of the big concerns heading into the game, and it certainly played out like that. And the thing is, the Jags have always been able to bounce back and respond to whatever level of physicality was. I just felt like it was a little overwhelming at the point of attack yesterday.
All right, so here's what I'll say, and we've been talking about this on the station all day today. I'm not concerned about that because I think a hallmark of this Jaguars team is physicality. I think they've proven that. They proved it in the first 5 games. So I'm not worried that they won't be physical enough moving forward. That's not a concern for me. What I am worried about is all these unforced errors. So many formation penalties and offsides penalties and delay of game. Are you concerned about that? And how do they clean that up, Bucky? Because that has been a pattern for this Jaguar team.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a major concern going all the way back to week 1. And it's something that Liam has talked about. I'm sure they've drilled in practice. They've gone over. I'm sure they've done PowerPoint presentations, but for whatever reason, it's not registering. And it's an issue because we're killing ourselves. And so much of what the Jaguars always talk about is the Jaguars can't beat the Jaguars. Let's make the other team beat us by out-executing us, by making plays because they have superior talent or schemes. But don't let it be a situation where we're beating ourselves with self-inflicted penalties, miscues, blown assignments, and those things. And, it's been a problem. And no matter what we've talked about or done, it hasn't changed. So it has to change if the Jaguars going to maximize their potential.
Bucky, are you concerned about Cam Little, or is it just a couple of misses and he'll shake it off? I mean, he's proven he's a really good kicker. You don't do what he did last year if you're not pretty good at it. It's in his head a little bit, I think. Any reason for concern there, or do you think Cam bounces back here?
Man, I hope he bounces back, but the only reason I'm concerned is because the position is such a temperamental position based on psychology and mentality and those things. And sometimes, man, the best thing that happened was the 70-yard kick, right? It was in preseason. You could see it. But it also raises the level of expectations whenever he runs out there. Now he's viewed as a superhero that can make it from anywhere. And that pressure can be immense when you're expected to be perfect in those things. Hopefully he can find a way to settle down, get into a flow state, and go back to being the Cam Little that we know and love. But, yeah, I'm a little concerned, not quite concerned where I'm like, hey, we need to bring kickers in and those things. But, yeah, it's a little concerning when you start putting together a couple of misses, a PAT miss, and those things.
Bucky, and I make a lot of golf analogies. It's what I know, right? But if you miss a 4-foot putt, well, then the next 4-foot putt's tougher because you just remembered the one you just missed. So your hands get a little tighter and you grip the club a little harder, which is the last thing you can do. And if you block it right a little bit, you tend to pull it the next time because that's in your mind. You're down there on the sideline. You see him kicking into the net. You're around there when they take their helmets off. Do you sense that with Cam a little bit, that he's stressed and overthinking like golfers do at times? Do you feel that when you're down there on the sideline with those guys?
Yeah, 100%, man. Because, like, Frank, when you're down there, man, it is very much like golf. That's why so many punters and kickers are great golfers, because the mentality is the same. And the thing that you see is maybe a little tightening up, maybe a little disappointment and stress that kind of forces you to overthink or think about things that you've never thought about before. And that certainly is in play. And the way that you work through that is the same way you work through it in golf. You really got to focus on next shot, focus on the mechanics and the rhythm. You spend more time worrying about the process and less on the results. And eventually the results will get back to what you want them to be.
Greg Newsome got beat on the one play. I felt terrible for him. He got in there one play. They went right at him. They hit him on a big play, and he didn't play much after that. Tell me your thoughts on Greg Newsome, how you think I think he's going to be fine. He's a first-round draft pick, and he can run and cover, and he's very good in zone with his eyes on the quarterback, which is what this team likes to do, I think. But you've seen more of him than I have. What should we expect from Greg Newsome as we move forward here?
Look, he's going to be fine. But you know what that was, Frank? Imagine us having a foursome. You show up a little late, but we put you first on the tee box. Let's go. No swing. That's exactly
That's right.
Exactly what it was. It was a lot of pressure. They dialed it up. It came right after a break, and it was interesting because when he comes in, it's either an extended TV timeout or whatever, and you can see the Seattle coaches kind of talking, because I heard you say, hey, Greg Newsome's in. Yeah. And you can see them kind of plot. And, like, first play, man, JSN lines up outside, but not all the time.
Right.
But it was like, hey, let's see what my man's legs are like after he's kind of been away from it for a week.
Right.
He's still trying to kind of fit into the scheme, and they dialed it up. But I can tell you, this dude's a really good player, really good instincts and awareness, and Didn't have the greatest year last year, but coming out of Northwestern, I thought he was an outstanding pro. He'll get back on track. This scheme is perfect for him. He just has to learn it and then get used to playing.
He's a guy that tends to find the football, and that's certainly this defense has proven that's what they want. There's no doubt about that. I thought Trevor played pretty well. I mean, he was harassed. He was sacked 7 times, pressured almost all the game. I thought he hung in there. I thought, given what he was dealing with, he had a couple drops. I thought Trevor Lawrence played a pretty good game. What'd you think?
Yeah, he was solid, but I think his clock was sped up because, I mean, obviously they couldn't protect the guys up front. 7 sacks allowed, a lot of harassment. It almost felt like he was just running around, like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to find a way. And even though he has success using his legs, no one wants Trevor to live in that world where he's having to improvise and make plays, scrambling and throwing across his body. It was a solid performance, but for him to be better, all of the players around him need to be better. The protection, the playmakers, and those things. So if you protect him better and you catch the ball more consistently, Trevor Lawrence is going to play better.
All right, Bucky, let's fast forward to London on Sunday. Obviously, the team's going today, so they're going to be there all week long. The Rams aren't going until Friday. What do you make of the two different philosophies here? Why is John McVay's going so late? Liam's going early. How will that affect the game in your mind, anyway?
I mean, it won't affect the game until we see the outcome, right? Because after the game is decided, then we say one team approached it the right way, the other team approached it the wrong way. For Liam, this is an opportunity to reset in training camp, right? When you take the team overseas and families and stuff aren't involved, it literally forces the team to spend all their time together. And even though all their time is not on X's and O's, it's continue to refine and build up the chemistry and camaraderie amongst the group. For the Rams, this is kind of like a sports science game. Hey, let's get over there. Let's not worry about the body clock. Let's get to it. Let's play it and leave. Very much like the way I travel over there. Land, let's wake up and play, and let's get back on the plane and go back. We'll see. If you've done it a while, you're not really in a fog. Look, the Rams spend a lot of time. I know their training staff over there. They understand sleep studies and all that. There's been a lot of thought behind it. I think they just kind of want to get over there, put the ball down, play, and get back to L.A.
Let me tell you Bucky's life. Bucky is a high school football coach. He's going to coach on Thursday night or Friday night, leaving on the red eye, right, Buck? You're leaving, and he's in Los Angeles, by the way. So it's an 11-hour flight. Leave on the red eye. Get there about 5 o'clock Saturday night. Is that the plan, Buck? Is that still that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, straight shot. We're gonna get there. I mean, may have some soup or whatever. And then we get up and go, Frank.
Bucky and I,
what we gonna do.
Bucky and I are gonna grab dinner when he gets there, and he's not gonna know what planet he's on, what country he's in, and then the next thing you know, you'll play. All right, before we let you go, tell me about the Rams. You know that team awfully well, obviously. We know Matt Stafford. We know Puka Nacua may not play. What are your expectations there? And tell us a little bit about the Rams team that these Jaguars are going to face.
And a carbon copy. I mean, they're kind of the standard that we want to be in terms of how they play. Sean McVay does a great job of building a great team. And in a great team, man, offense, defense, special teams, but more importantly, culture. This is a tough, resilient team. They want to play a physical brand of football, so they're going to run it. They got a big-time quarterback in Matthew Stafford who can attack you in a variety of ways. And then on defense, man, they just got a young, hungry bunch of guys that get after it. This will be a test similar to the test that we just experienced with the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see if we fare better now that we've had a little indoctrination with this kind of ball, having played Seattle on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a physical game, no question about it. All right, Bucky Brooks checking in, does a great job talking Jaguars. He's flying 11 straight hours. Bucky, I'll be waiting for you, brother. I'll see you on Saturday. Have a good flight. Talk to you later, man.
All right, man. Talk to you.
My man Bucky Brooks. He's flying to Red Eye. He coaches high school football. He's a head coach. So he's on Friday night he's coaching. He's leaving right after the game. He's got like a car that's going to take him to the airport, LAX. He flies 11 straight hours. I mean, he's going from Los Angeles to London, okay? 11 straight hours. Gets there at 5 o'clock London time on Saturday. Works the sidelines, gets on a plane, comes back Monday. That's the guy that's not afraid right there is what that is.
That's incredible.
So that's what Bucky's going to do. We'll take a break. Hayes has our college football rewind after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The best place to get trucks is Nimnick Chevrolet. But did you know Nimnick Chevrolet is way more than just trucks? While most dealerships are running low, Nimnick has the largest inventory of new Chevy SUVs in town right on their lot. With low promotional rates, now is the time to save big on the most popular Chevy SUVs like the all-new redesigned Equinox. Plus, with cash incentives and Nimnick savings, you'll save thousands only at Nimnick. If you're looking for better fuel economy or just need a little more room for your growing family, Nimnick Chevrolet's wide range of models ready to drive means you'll find exactly what you're looking for at Nimnick. So head to Nimnick today. Of course, it's the best place for trucks. When you go to Nimnick, it's way more than trucks. It's great SUVs as well. So hit the Nimnick today. Where's the best place to get cars, trucks, and SUVs? Nobody but Nimnick.
Living life on the edge of your seat.
Are you kidding me?
Your front row seat for play-by-play.
Break it free, they're not going to catch you.
1010XL.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY and take the fear out of the fight. Offices, Jacksonville.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Carissa McCullough in Yulee at 904-261-2223.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsAnyFlorida.com. That's RestaProsAnyFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros!
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, where we've been today in the program, we talked about the Jags lost. They lost, they were out physical a little bit, but also too many self-inflicted wounds, and that's one thing they got to get cleaned up. We talked some Jaguar football. We looked ahead to their game with the Rams. We'll talk about that as the week goes on. I think the Gators will fire Billy Napier after his next loss, and I think it's time to do so. We talked about that loss in Florida State, certainly living that portal life, and that portal life has been tough on the Noles, and how do they get it turned around? Bucky Brooks was here as well to talk Jaguars football, and that's where we've been on the course of the program today.
Time now for the College Football Top 25 Rewind. Brought to you by the law firm of Woolsey Morecambe. Take the fear out of the fight. Here's Hayes Carline.
Oh, what a weekend it was. Let's get started in Eugene, Oregon.
Here comes the pressure. Throws to the corner. Touchdown, Surratt.
7th-ranked Indiana stuns the nation by taking down number 3 Oregon 30-20. The Hoosiers earned their first victory over a top 5 team since 1967. Oregon's nation-leading 18-game home winning streak is snapped. Indiana moves up 4 spots to number 3, while the Ducks fall 5 spots to 8.
That was the coming out party, by the way. Think about that. They haven't been a team like that since 67. In fact, 67, I think they went to the Rose Bowl, and I think I'm old enough that I watched it. Isn't that terrible that I know that? I think they went to the Rose Bowl there.
Purdue is who they beat that year. It was a top 5 team.
I will tell you, since Indiana, that was the coming out party. I mean, that was now. Nobody believed it. Nobody believed it till now. I didn't believe it. Did you believe it? Nobody.
No. In fact, when we do Hammer Time tomorrow, I'm going to hammer myself for calling Kirk Cignetti a poser and a fraud.
Right. None of us. No, but you and many others. Nobody believed it till now. Now people buy what Indiana's selling. No question about it.
Without a doubt. JJ, take us to Dallas.
Niblett, who carefully fields this one, has some room. Ryan Niblett weaving, still running down the sideline. Niblett all the way to the house. 75, no flags.
Punt return touchdown there is unranked Texas bounces back from a loss to Florida to pull away from 6th-ranked Oklahoma 23-6 in the Red River Shootout. The Longhorns outscored the Sooners 20-0 in the second half. OU quarterback John Mateer returned from a hand injury, but threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, and look, he's a gamer. He tried to play in that game. You could tell the hand was bothering him if you watched it. Oklahoma still looks like they're not Oklahoma. They had a soft schedule, which helped them get off to this great start. And Brent Venables probably isn't in trouble yet, but that was a tough loss for him. And look, Texas 4-2 still in it. We'll see how they do.
Absolutely. Texas is back in the poll at number 21, while Oklahoma fell 8 spots to number 14. So yeah, the voters definitely turned on the Sooners after that performance. We're on to Champaign, Illinois.
Can smell it again. No, Sand will throw it. Touchdown, Jeremiah Smith. How simple can it get when you have number 4 on your team?
Top-ranked Ohio State had little trouble at number 17, Illinois, winning 34-16. The Buckeyes led 20-3 at halftime. Ohio State turned 3 Illinois turnovers into 21 points.
That was Gus bringing the heat right there is what that was, and I love Gus Johnson. Ohio State's really good. Illinois is a good team, but they've been rolled now by both Indiana and Ohio State, who both have great teams. Those 2 teams will be in the playoff. Ohio State's good. They're like legitimately good. Those 2 teams are legit for sure.
The Buckeyes remain at number 1, while the Illini fell out of the poll. Let's get it to the football hotbed that is Columbia, Missouri.
Simpson on 4th and goal to pass to the end zone. It is Daniel Hill, the 244-pound running back with a touchdown reception.
8th-ranked Alabama fought off a gutsy Missouri team 27-24. Tied quarterback Ty Simpson threw 3 touchdowns and snapping Missouri's 15-game home winning streak. The Tigers only fell 2 spots with the loss to number 16. Alabama climbed 2 spots to 6th.
Here's what's interesting. Ty Simpson in the Florida State game looked overmatched. Looked like, oh my goodness, I see why he hadn't played for 4 years. Since that game, he's looked like the best quarterback in the country. If you don't count the Florida State game, he's played better than any quarterback in America, top to bottom.
Without a doubt, starting to really climb that Heisman list.
Really is.
When you see what the straw polls are putting out there. We will close things out in Los Angeles.
Sticking with Brian Jackson now, the sophomore from McKinney, Texas. And Jackson gets away. Jackson all the way. Touchdown, USC.
USC is back in the poll after beating number 15 Michigan 31-13. Freshman walk-on King Miller ran for 158 yards and a touchdown. The Trojans are 20th this week, while the Wolverines dropped out of the rankings.
Yeah, USC didn't look very good when they lost at Illinois. Illinois doesn't look very good now. USC found a way to win that game. So I'll tell you what, it's not the NFL yet, but college football has more parity than it's ever had. It has more, you're not sure who's going to win these games than it's ever had before. So interesting stuff. Good work as always. We'll be back to wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The National League Championship Series beginning tonight with the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers minus 225 to capture that series, while Milwaukee is at plus 185. Shohei Ohtani plus 190 to hit the most home runs in the NLCS. Matt Muncy of the Dodgers plus 550. Freddie Freeman plus 700. Teoscar Hernandez plus 800. William Contreras of the Brewers plus 900 to hit the most home runs in the NLCS. Over in the American League, the Seattle Mariners are minus 255 to capture the AL pennant, while the Toronto Blue Jays are plus 185.
Cash back for every bet with a G-Bank Signature Visa card. VSIN.com/GBank.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Jacksonville, it's football season, and Duck Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Keep an eye out for our custom Jaguar wrap plumbing vans rolling around town. They're hard to miss and always ready for the next play at your home or business. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, trust Duck Duck Rooter to keep you in the game. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here. You know, I always talk about the guidance, the great coaching I get with Awaken 180 weight loss. My coach, Kate, has given me tremendous guidance, has talked me through the process. As a result, I lost over 100 pounds. I'm still on the maintenance program. It's absolutely fantastic. Well, for the month of October, if you call Awaken 180 weight loss, you will get a free consultation. A free consultation during the month of October with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If you need to start your weight loss journey like I had to do something. My life was not pleasant at 317 pounds. Awaken 180 gave me my life back. If it's time for you to get involved with your weight loss, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. And in the month of October, get a free consultation with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hi, I'm John Haney from Clearwater Gutters and Drainage. After heavy rains, the problems are obvious. Mulch blown out of your beds, water standing around your foundation, and that fancy new crater back behind your bushes. Let Clearwater Seamless Gutters help you solve the problem spots.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters.
And drainage, too.
Find out more at clearwaterjacks.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frank Frangie for the farm at Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkestone. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Strap in, Duval. The Jaguars are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday, November 16th for our annual Salute to Service game. Join us as we honor and celebrate the brave men and women of our military all game long. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Let's stand together, Duval.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Hey, we thank our friends from the Best Bet. Daily promotions and tournaments always at Best Bet Orange Park. All three of those locations, St. Augustine, right off of I-95, Orange Park on 17, and, of course, the Jacksonville location is on Monument Road. Go to bestbetjacks.com and find out all about those terrific locations. If you're hungry, send them somewhere where they can eat, Hayes. I mean good food.
Well, this would not just
good food.
Good food, great atmosphere, and obviously you just heard Frank talking about the farm at Okefenokee. We're going to do one more giveaway right now. The dinner is Saturday night. Again, the farm at Okefenokee, about an hour north of here. It's in Folkestone. Gorgeous property. It's unbelievable. They're building these cabins there that obviously you've heard us talk about. But they also have these special dinners. The menu is fantastic. Congaree and Penn are their partners in this from a catering standpoint. So you're going to get a great meal, and you're going to get to experience what the farm at Okefenokee has to offer. Incredible amenities as well. So again, we will take caller number, what we want to do here? 3?
3's perfect.
All right. Caller number 3. You will win a pair of tickets to the dinner Saturday night at the farm at Okefenokee. And again, if you're curious, okefarm.com. You can get tickets to this event, and hopefully you win. But if you don't win the tickets and you want to go to the dinner, you can go to okefarm.com for tickets.
Last Friday, I was just stayed in. I was tired. We had the wonderful remote, by the way. And I certainly appreciate our friends at Big Dogs having us out. But I was tired of staying in, and so I watched the USF game against Texas, or North Texas, who was favored.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the Brahmin Bulls just gutted them.
63.
I still call them Brahmin Bulls. Yeah. Alex Golesh is growing on me.
They're ranked. But
watching how they, again, to me, it's not just Tennessee that plays that way. Pitt plays that way. USF plays that way. Florida State tries to play that way. These teams that play really fast, it's fun to watch. And Alex Golesh, he got it from being with Josh Heupel those years. He's a pretty good coach.
They scored 28 points in 4 minutes.
Yeah, wow. and without a real good passing quarterback, he's a good runner. But I'm telling you what, he's growing on me. I don't think he can get the Florida job this time because they've hired that guy too many times.
Yeah.
Guy from a non-Power 4 school, and
the search would have to, I think, kind of fall apart.
Yeah. And by the way, they already said he's the leading candidate at Oklahoma State, which is what you would imagine.
Makes sense.
And I would, and so, but I don't think he's right for the Florida job now for those reasons. But he's a pretty good coach. I mean, he has grown on me a lot. I mean, did you watch that game at all? I mean, y'all were going to dinner.
Yeah,
but
I didn't watch any Friday night, but I certainly was impressed watching his team play in the Swamp.
He on 63.
Yeah, and like you said, they were an underdog.
Yeah, against an undefeated team. And
they'll probably be in the playoff.
Well, they got to beat Navy. They got to beat a lot of teams. They got to be good teams. But I mean, we'll see if they're go 11-1 during the playoff. And so he's a pretty good coach now. I mean, I was underwhelmed a little bit because the quarterback they're playing is a physical guy. He's not a great passer, But man, they play fast. They know how to play. So it'll be interesting to watch and see how this whole thing plays out. All right. Once again, I'll be here tomorrow and Wednesday with you. Then I'll be heading to London. I'm going to fly out during the day on Thursday. So Hacker will be in here with you Thursday and Friday. And then Ryan O'Halloran next week you'll be here. Not just Jaguar stuff. You and Ryan will talk about all the normal stuff we talk about on the program. But I'm looking forward to that, and it'll be a fun week. And hopefully you'll be talking about a Jaguars win. That's the hope, right?
That would be huge if they can get this thing to 5-2 and take down McVay and company. That'd be
and that one won't be easy.
Big win.
What's the line? 3?
I think the Rams are favored by 3 is what I've seen. So, and that sounds right.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would anticipate the Rams winning this game, but the Jaguars have surprised us before.
Yeah, and look, the Jags are in. Once you get off to a 4-1 start, you're in a pretty good place. That doesn't mean all these games are house money. You want to keep winning, but there's stretches of the schedule. You made a great point about the Colts. The Colts schedule started out easy and gets hard on paper. The Jaguars' schedule started out hard and it's going to get easier. Again, they're all NFL teams. It doesn't get that much easier, but they'll all get a little bit. It'll get a little bit easier.
Arizona almost beat the Colts yesterday. The Colts had to score late to get the win over Jacoby Brissett
with a backup quarter. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's.
Who I didn't know was still in the league.
Yeah. I mean, the Colts to me, they're 5-1 and they deserve credit for that. But I think when you look at the back half of Indianapolis' schedule. You could see them going into a slump. So I'm not overly concerned about what the Colts have done so far. The Jaguars are going to have to do what the Colts have done. Go 5-1 in the back half when you've got that 6-game stretch where you're playing a bunch of lousy teams.
The Rams, by the way, are 4-2. And again, that's a good football team. But the tough division, man. The 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams are all 4-2. I mean, and Arizona, to your point, they're 2-4, but they're in every game. So that is a really, I mean, it's like a really good division. So it'll be interesting to see the way all that it all plays out. I will tell you, I have not lost confidence in who I think the Jaguars are. I have not lost confidence. They played a bad game, and they played a bad game 6 days after a really emotional, nationally televised game against the best franchise in football, with everybody and their brother patting them on the back and talking about it. And I don't think they got complacent because of that. I don't think they started reading their headlines. I don't think it's that. But I do think you can get affected by the emotion of it all and the passion of it all and the excitement of it all. I do think that can affect you. So a lot of people ask me, do you think winning that game affected them? Well, not the way you think. Not, well, we're reading our headlines and we're patting ourselves on the back too much. I don't think they're that group. Do you? I don't think
I don't. I think in hindsight, I thought back to something Trevor said on Wednesday, and it should have been my first alert that they probably weren't going to play well on Sunday. He said, well, we're really losing 2 days.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what you want to hear. Like, the Jaguars are still new at this. They're not used to playing on Monday night. And so, yeah, it was clear that the intensity and the fire was not there.
And that's not because you don't want it to be there. It's just sometimes
it's hard to
look. You can't, it's not in there. Yeah, so that's exactly right. Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick, the Jags lose for only the second time, and what'd you make of the game?
Well, the follow-up on Hayes' point, they didn't get home till Wednesday afternoon because of the traffic. So that was the first thing they had to deal with. Right. And then once they got back into the sync of things, they appeared not to be ready. But as bad as they played, it was a one-possession game. I thought they went for 2 a little early. I was disappointed that they couldn't man up and pick that up from a yard and a half out. But, they held their opponents, what was it, 1 of 12 on third down?
1 of 12 on third. That's usually winning numbers, yeah.
And 60 yards rushing?
I know.
I mean, you win those games. But, yeah, you look at Kansas City last night, they had 0 penalties. Okay, they had, 11, 13, I think it was, against the Jags. The Jags had 4 penalties. Yesterday, they doubled that up, I think, +1. I think they had 9 when it was all said and done. So
did Kansas City not have any penalties?
They didn't have 1 penalty last night.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And they earned a few. I mean, Kelsey just points to the ref, and he's like, yes, sir. Throws the flag right at him. And it really did happen. It was bizarre. But you know what? It was a bad game, and I almost would rather lose a game like this than the one that they lost at Cincinnati, where they got a bad call and you get out of there and you steam. You should have won. I mean, let's face it. At least for one day, Seattle was the better team. They were the more physical football team yesterday, and hopefully Jacksonville can lick its wounds, get to London, and get ready for the Rams.
I thought it was the first time all year, even Cincinnati included, that they weren't the more physical team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What's coming up?
All of that. Everything that happened with the Jags, that'll be just about it tonight. Mixing a tiny bit of college ball, but for the most part, all Jaguars.
All right, Rick Ballou goes into the night. That is right now. That'll do it for our program. Rick is next. We'll see you tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't